Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Well. We got something different happening, don't we? Something we're not used to for some time, and that is Pulsechain is rallying while Bitcoin and Ethereum are sleeping. So yeah, pretty crazy, pretty cool. So yeah, it looked positive last night. I posted out a pulse chart and I said, "Oh, Pulsechain, full of possibilities," and yeah, there was a little bit of a slight pullback, and then waking up this morning, and here they are. The pulse chain's on the move, on the rally, so it's pretty nice. Coming off the bottom, but very positive. The counter move, very positive sign. Recently we had Richard Hart talking about the Prevex sacrifice on testnet. People are now speculating about all the things around that, all the variables. When it might go live, what sort of LP pools, all that sort of stuff, what chains. So lots of cool stuff happening there. But we're going to get down into the crypto majors. We're going to kick off with that. We're going to get into Pulsechain and the really nice gains happening right now. And then we're going to have a look at the pulse chart. We're going to have a look at liquidity pools for Richard Hart cores. And then we're going to deep dive into the 100 trending on Deck Screener. And we're going to watch a Liberty Swap video for Liberty X is coming. And of course, PCock. Could it be one of the few billion-dollar memes in the future? So I hope you guys enjoy it. Should be a bit of fun in the show. So we've got Sean in the house there as well. Good morning, all. Good morning, Sean. Up only, indeed. Up only. I've got to do a special shout out for Sean because Crypto Coffee, one of the biggest influencers, if not the biggest in Pulsechain, did a big, nice repost on Sean and Melly for always posting up only. And the positivity is, I guess, much appreciated. So nice one there, Sean. Congratulations. months of posting up only and getting some cool recognition there was pretty fun. We got Hexfader in the house as well. Hey gang, good to see Hexfader as always. And so yeah, we got some early Discord members in the chat. It's great to see. If you guys haven't joined our Discord, it really is a great place to be. Links in the video description on YouTube. We are streaming on 3 YouTube channels: the Crypto Night Show, Superman Crypto, and Pulsechain X. We're also obviously streaming on X as well, and you can find links to the Strategy Club pinned at the top there. You go through the Whoop store and sign up. Just over $1 a day to join up the Strategy Club. I think it's $12.50 to join general membership in Discord, so you can select that one too and join our community. Pretty amazing. So we've got some good members in the chat there today. Thanks, Superman. And you're most welcome there, Sean. Most welcome. And I loved your picture yesterday at the resort. Pretty amazing. There was it Port Charles or something? Let me know in the chat. All right, without further ado, let's have a look at where the crypto market is right now and check that out. No stock market news, of course. It is, I guess, Saturday in the US, Sunday in down under. We've got the total crypto market at the moment is at 2.38 trillion, down 1%. Now, remember that we are expecting that when we go for the big bull run in the future, that we're expecting that to potentially 10x or more, right? So, gold, I think what's gold now, about $40 trillion or something. Let me think. 40 trillion, yeah. We're expecting this to run to at least half that, right? At least to 20 trillion. So you guys are in early right now. You just got to buy the quality assets and buy your time. Markets re-rate pretty fast, as you saw with gold. So just take note of that. Sean says Port Douglas, far north Queensland. There we go. Yeah, it was a great photo resort. What a wonderful, beautiful looking place. So we've got the Bitcoin right now at $67,257. Remember, we've been ranging between 63.5 and 74. It's kind of where we've been ranging. Obviously, the some camp thinks that we need like a full correction would be down some people say as low as 35k. I don't know whether we're going to have that traditional full kind of correction, but that's definitely a possibility under circumstances. Have we had enough structural change, which institutions and stuff like that, that we would have a smaller pullback? Well, that would be where we have been, so far, which is 63.5 60 at the. I think we had a little spike to 60, didn't we? But that is pretty much where I think we probably good chance of us actually bounding from. Yeah, so other than that, you can always have your limit orders in for some of those lower prices, 50K, 35K, and probably be a temporary dip, but that's how crypto works, right? 20 days in the year, you make most of your money, you lose most of the money. That's pretty much it. So it's down 1.3% at the moment, holding, it's pretty decent at 67, just in the middle of that kind of range. Ethereum right now is down 0.6% at $1,969. I do think Ethereum is going to have a different path from Bitcoin, ultimately, in terms of its ratio to Bitcoin. So I think it's at 0.029, so about 2.9%. But I actually think that that Ethereum is going to rally against the Bitcoin there as we move into more bullish conditions. Because of a lot of the structural differences, which we've talked about, a lot, which is, stable coins, tokenization in particular, to some degree, payment rails. I'm still question mark over payment rails for Ethereum, but to some degree, payment rails. And, those big things will help move Ethereum up relative to Bitcoin. So, and I think that case is even stronger since Bitcoin is, still not that full-on store of value. I think it has a role as a store of value, but I think Ethereum is really, with the application layers and smart contracts, is going to be much more valuable. So that's Ethereum. We've got BNB right now down 1.2%, $620. We've got XRP down 0.5% at $1.36. We've got Solana there down 1.8%, $83. Solana is more likely to be more of the payment rails, but it has stoppages on the chain. That's got to limit its use case to compared to Ethereum with a lot of the tokenization and stuff like that. So I just don't see that happening around the security. Security is very important, and so yeah, that's probably the play. Tron there up 0.7%, 28.6 cents, and number 10 is Doge down 1.5%. At just below 99 cents. So those are top 10. Best performer is probably who? Best performer is XRP, actually, only down 0.5%. Again, Tron, up 0.7%. And then we got the best performer over the last week is also Tron, up 1.6%. But, Bitcoin is not too far behind, up 0.8% for the week. Looking at the top 100, let's have a look. We've got Pi Network actually taking number one spot, up 37%. Now, Pi Network is a terrible project. I mean, think about it, it's a highly KYC'd. They don't give people their tokens after, you remember, this project's been around since what? I'm thinking it's as early as 2017, maybe 2018. And it was one of the first mobile mining apps from the phone. But people still haven't got their tokens today after all those years. I mean, this is such a dog's breakfast, and it's also out of a woke university team. So it's pretty crap. So we'll see what happens. OKB there is up 33%. Number 2, we got Kite up 9% there as well. We got White Bitcoin up 8%, and Jupiter there up 6.5%. So those 5 are the top performers in last week. Looking at top 1,000, we've got Derive, Resolve, and Kava leading the top 1,000. And in trending-wise, Bitcoin, Akash, and Pi Network are trending right now. Crypto can make things trend regardless of the quality. So that's just the way it goes. What else there? We've got Hexgrader says, have you heard of the Avalon scanner? Not off the top of my head, I don't think. So let's know. Part of Liberty Swap. Oh, really? Okay, no. Well, you know me, I've studied Liberty Swap a lot, but I don't recall hearing that one there. Let me know in the chat there. Let us know. Good to know about Pi, says Hidden. Yeah, Pi Network. They make them watch. Pi Network makes people watch ads. So it's been how many years now? 8 years? Something like that. And people have to watch ads over ads every single day. They have to watch ads, and they still haven't got their tokens. I mean, how bad's that? And they've had to give up all their KYC, etc., and all the rest of it. I mean, there's lots of bad stuff. But that is pretty much it. All right, let's move on to positivity stuff. So that's the crypto market right now, 2.38 trillion. It's down 1%. Bitcoin at the moment, of course, is down 1.3%. Ethereum down 0.6%. So remember that. These are all slightly down, kind of sitting in the trading range. But Pulsechain is looking green. Pulsechain looking green. We've got day 131 about to start, I believe, day 1030. And we've got Pulse at the moment. And let's do a refresh just to make sure I've got the latest and greatest. We've got Pulse at the moment up 7%. So really counter move there. So that's pretty neat. I know it's still a low base. We're still really on the bottom, largely speaking. But we're actually green. We're actually counter market, which I think is kind of neat. So we're at 4 zeros. We lost a zero again. We're battling to make sure that we keep losing the zero. And that's at 103. So 4 zeros, 103. We're still at, a 1/10 of the mean sacrifice price, which was 0001. So we've still got another zero, but we had 2 zeros, which is crazy on the old Pulse. So that's kind of a cool move. So this is going to set us up for a trend reversal finally after the 1,030 days. Well, it's not quite that much, but there was quite a bullish period at the beginning. But are we going to have that trend reversal and get the upside and get the glorious days of Hex? If you guys remember Hex, one of the top 4 or 5 coins launched by Richard Hart, had a AA lobby over 351 days. It launched 2nd December 2019, and by the time we got into 2021, it was pretty glorious, right? 13 parabolic rises. Are we going to get into anything like that with the old Pulsechain? Thinking about particularly the cause as a whole, but in particular Hex, which we're going to focus on with around liquidity. Hex having the thinnest liquidity, although we do often see INC pumping in quite a bit. Although I don't trust some of the larger holders with INC, that's probably I'm a bit more skeptical about the holder class there. All right, so we've got Pulsex at the moment is at 50732, so still picking up a lot of Pulsex right now, and that's up 11%. So really nice to see Pulsex move there. So it's up four points against Pulse. We got the buy and burn sitting at 8.64%, and that's always very important when we get a trend reversal because that buy and burn always ticking away and getting rid of some of the supply, right? That's kind of neat like that. It's particularly we've got INC at the moment 45 cents, up 13%, the best performer of the day so far. And that we got EHEX on Pulsechain PHEX sitting just below 0.2 of a penny. 00197, and that's up 8.8%. We got EHEX still sluggish, a little sluggish there, 0.0069. So on Ethereum, and so you can still pick up mad volumes of both hexes at the moment. And the combined price of EHEX and PX is sitting at 26, just under 2700th of a penny. Now keep an eye on the old hex because we're going to talk about the liquidity later on. So let's do that. So we've got the gas prices at the moment, 838,000 beats. 0.3 of a penny for a Pulsex swap right now. We've got Validus, 53,331. So it's ticking away. A pretty unprofitable business, but great community service. We've got Bridge value at the moment, 70 million. So we're back over 70 million. That's good. We were at 69.5 yesterday. A couple of days ago, we were at 71.5 for a couple of days. So we're back over 70. So that's kind of cool. Just a slow climb back up. So keep an eye out on that. That's kind of a health measure. It's also a financial pumpamental. Keep an eye out on that as well. There's still quite a bit of stable coins, sitting on Pulsechain not applied, which can help move the markets up pretty quickly with thin liquidity, right? So still got that going for it. But if that really starts to climb, we start to get more USDC, more DAI coming over, more ETH, then that's a pretty positive sign. So keep a look out for that. Where do you find out alerts like that? You go to Pulse Alerts on X and things like that to see what's coming over. So those are the overviews for Pulsechain. Looking pretty good though, right? Looking pretty good. We've got the green candles there. Nice. And some double digits as well. Is this the beginning of the trend reversal ultimately for Pulsechain after 1,000 days? Is it time for the next 1,000 days? Maybe not that long. Next 1,000 days to be glorious too. Let's say 500 days. 500 days. All right. So that is the Go Pulse. Let's have a look at the Pulse chart. I did post this yesterday, and so we're up 7%. we had a nice little green candle. We're over the 21 daily moving average there. 21, very important at 21. All the TA gurus. We got our own TA guru in Discord called Brennan. And he would say the 21 moving average, very important. And so we're over the 21 moving average. Very, very cool. We got some good support for a couple of days at 5 9,400. And now we are over the 21 day, which is currently just shy of 401. So you can see it's here. It's at 9,900. So we're almost got the 21 moving average, losing a zero as well. In fact, let's fingers crossed we can get that moving up over the next day. And we have got the 21 moving average moving up, starting to curl back up there. Isn't that cool? So some good stuff happening there. The RSI, I don't know if I've got one in here. Let's have a look at that. Guys know RSI is your best friend, particularly if you're new to crypto. It'll help you to stop buying the tops and selling the bottoms, right? And so just take note of that. We're currently sitting at 50 on the daily, right in the middle. So we're not overbought up at 70. We're not oversold down at 30. We're sitting right in the middle at 50, so which is very good for Pulsechain. Obviously, after this big downtrend, we're probably likely to have an RSI or something like that. Now, looking at the 4 hourly to see an idea of the shorter term time frame, we've still got plenty of room to move to the upside. So things are kind of looking positive there. Let's have a longer time frame look, and we can see on the weekly, we're just coming off the bottom there, 29. So it was always a good sign that we're going to come off, and we're up at 33. So let's see if we can get some momentum now that we're over the 21 day moving average. The weekly moving average for 21 weekly moving averages is at 4 zeros. Let's just round it up to 1,800. So 4 zeros, 1,800 there. So that'd be quite a good move from where we are at the moment just to hit that. And that would be a rise of about 70%. And I think that's, seems fairly doable. Once you start moving off the bottom, can get some pretty decent gains and then get some consolidation in play. So that is kind of where we are with the old Pulse chain right now. Now, I did wanted to talk about liquidity. So let's look at the wrap Pulse liquidity. And we can see we've got some nice, this is brand new, by the way, information from Pulsechain Stats, one of our big statistics platforms on Pulsechain. And we can see we've now got a nice aggregation of liquidity. Now, I'm assuming that's all accurate. I mean, the team's a pretty accurate team. So, we'll go with these numbers. It does look pretty good. So we're at 3.95 million grand total now in the wrap Pulse. Which is kind of cool. Also has the breakdowns of the main pools. You can kind of see the percentages there. So we had a couple of main pools there, at least 4. And so that's pretty cool. A lot of V1 and a little bit of V2 there with the Pulse. So kind of cool. And you can see the breakdowns there with the token pairs. V1's got most of it, and then V2's got 17%. So that's pretty cool. So that is Pulse with the 3.95 million. But let's just go through and compare. Remember we talked about the different Pulse Richard Hart cores. So we've got about 4 million in the wrap Pulse there. But let's go through some of the others. So INC's got 2.66 million. Now remember that because INC is the best performer today, up about 13-14%, and it's got 2.66 million. And you can obviously see a lot of the liquidity is sitting in V1 there. And then we've got Pulsex. Pulsex has got 4.45 million, so it's actually quite large compared to both Pulse and INC, with dominantly in V1. And then finally we've got Hex, which is what I told you. Remember we said just keep a remember of what Hex is, because if we go back to 2021. Hex was, one of the top 4 or 5 coins. Now, we didn't have a lot of coin makers back in the day. Remember that? We didn't have a lot of pump funds. We didn't have a lot of custom sites where you could make tokens. Most people weren't coders. They couldn't make their own, tokens, so they didn't have an audience to really influence. So the world's completely different since then, right? So if you go to CoinMarketCap, there's now millions of coins on CoinMarketCap. There's about 19,000, I think, on CoinGecko. But the world's changed, right? The world's changed since then. But back in then, there wasn't that many coins, and Hex was one of the top 4 or 5 performers doing a 10,000x, right? So now we've got Hex again, but Hex is still pretty special, right? And that's probably the point I'm trying to make. We've got liquidity at 1.58 million, so it's got the smallest liquidity, the easiest one to move. And then you got to say, what are the variables around each of these coins, right? Are they all pretty similar? I kind of feel like Hex has already got quite a long tail, long community in there, and so Hex could actually move pretty well. If you think about Hex, so with the thin liquidity as well, could be quite the strong move. We've actually got quite, and out of all the four Richard cores, we can actually see that Pulsechain V2 is actually more dominant in Hex here too, which is pretty interesting. And so if you look at the quality, it really does look pretty strong. Although we are seeing a bit of move in INC, at 2.66 million, and then we've got 1.6 million based on these numbers in the Hex. There's Hex on Pulsechain, so we could see quite a big move there, and then therefore you got to say, well, who's really involved? Obviously, Pulsex has the advantage that Hex has slight inflation, right? So we've got inflation coming in. Hex, I think typically it's around 1.3, 1.7% with nominal inflation of 3.69. But we've got Hex, we've got Pulse. In fact, probably even lower than that. But we've got Pulsex at the moment with the buy and burn, so it's just always burning down in terms of supply. But really, liquidity is probably going to be the most important there, and how many people are in the community. We've got INC, of course, had a lot of LP providers. I mean, thinking of Firewell and people like that sitting in the top couple of addresses. I think he's still probably similar to that, but even with some of the selling going on with a lot of his tokens back, a few months back. So we've got INC there, 2.66 million. That seems to be the better performer today. And then, of course, we've got Pulse, of course, which one has to have to do things on Pulsechain. But Hex, I think, could really be get another glory day in the sun. Now, we don't just have PHEX, of course. We also got EHEX. EHEX seems to be lagging a bit, and that might catch up as well. But, of course, PHEX is arguably the preferred one on the chain, given Richard Hart support generally. Although I think both of them do pretty well, right? Both of them do pretty well. So that is some interesting stuff with the old liquidity. I thought we'd have a look at that, and let's see what Hex can do. It's got quite a bit of community around it, and as you guys know, I used to cover it pretty in depth as well. These days, Crispy Man is kind of the go-to for covering Hex. He's an analytical guy and got analytical tools for that. So if you haven't seen Crispy Man, go check it out on that as well. But certainly, in terms of liquidity, we might see Hex do quite a strong run. And at the moment, you can pick up 1 million Hex. You can pick up 1 million Hex for, I don't know what's the price right now, less than $2,000, I think, under 2,000, which is pretty amazing. And then also you can pick up EHEX for even cheaper. I think it's like $700 or something like that, $800, maybe even cheaper. So maybe it's cheaper than that. So some interesting numbers there. Now, obviously, there's a lot more tokens around, so you're competing with a lot of other stuff. But generally, if Richard Hart cores do well in the future, then they should all do pretty spectacular relative to a lot of other coins as well. So it's kind of got that yin and yang. We got Geezer in house says Hex for the win. Yeah, Hex for the win there. So Hex looking pretty attractive right now. And for some of the pickup probably, but once again, do your own due diligence, not financial advice, all that good stuff. But yeah, pretty exciting off the bottom, arguably where we are. All right, so that is the Pulsechain. Let's have a look at the top 100 trending right now. We got BFC been around for 14 hours. Remember, we have new tokens all the time, so just take note of that. Not endorsing any of the particular these. We get a lot of pump and dumpers, a lot from Pump Fund and Pump Tires and stuff. But this one's up 74%. So we got Only Tires up 35%. But remember that some of these also can be honeypots and dangerous projects, so just take note of that. Some of them will be fine. I haven't checked any of these out, but remember that. Smorg, number 3, been around for a while, 23 days, 34%. Investor, the old parent of the OG WebChef ecosystem, $2.03, so back over $2, up 25%. We got SCADA from Nuclear Supply, that's up 20% at the moment. We got DevC Coin tied in, I believe, into the PCock ecosystem. That's up 17% a little bit. Doubt Token, top meme coin on Pulsechain from Pump Tires, I should say. That is up 15% at number 7. PDC the Greys there with Pulse. 14.5% right now. That's sitting at number 8. And of course, they've had their new referral program. Seems to have been pretty successful after a bit of profit taking the other day. So let's have a quick look at PGC. So, they had their big rally. You guys know I called it on the RSI. The RSI worked very well. And then the next day it got taken down. Of course, the market was down a little bit too. Then we managed to bounce from 1.3 cents and now back at 1.5 almost. RSI there, still chilling at 66. So it's still going to face quite a bit of headwinds, I think, given the RSI level. But the referral program there, certainly, if it's, people are using it and active, then that's still doing pretty well. Let's go have a look at the X count to see whether they've got any insights into that. Excuse me, with the old, still recovering a little bit from my cold that I had. So let's have a look down the bottom here. Yeah, we've had Future Hex and Pulsechain, Grace Currency, still doing some streams. Still doing some, they've got some more X spaces coming up to talk about PTC and UFO. Just seeing whether they got any other. If you want to find out a lot of stuff about PDC, then definitely follow Prairie Banana. Does great coverage of that. It really is the guru in that space. Let's have a look here. Just seeing whether they had any more referral stuff on some of these numbers. Nothing obvious here, but there is definitely the referral ongoing. So February was the first month, and then they're going to March and etc. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Obviously, the value driver is the first DAO on Pulsechain. It's got pretty big influencer support. Prairie Banana is probably the anchor of that support, but it's got some large influencers around it, like Moon King and Ian Heinisch and all that. We've got it's also got the UFO token. It's got reflection, taxes 5% approximately, and it's got its DAO and buy and burn, all sorts of stuff. So it's pretty established, and now they've got this incentive program. All right, so that is PGC, the Greys. Excuse me. We've got incentive token number 9, number 10. So Richard Hart's incentive token coming in at 45 cents, up 14%. Those are our top 10 at the moment. So some decent names in there. Finvestor, SCADA, Doubt, PDC, INC. Pretty acceptable names, and then a few extras in there. What else have we got going? Scrolling down a little bit here, number 13. We've got Staked ETH, a fork token. That's up 13% right now. Let's have a little look at Staked ETH just to see where that is on the chart there. So that's the daily. So certainly down on the bottom of the range here, bit of a down chart, but that's still ticking away. We've got Pulsechain sitting at there at number 19, all the way to number 22. So it's doing pretty well, the old Pulsechain. So Richard Hart Core's actually leading, doing really well today, and that's been a nice surprise. So a nice little rally there from Richard Hart Core's. Number 25, we've got SolidX in there, up 11%, 9mm up 10%. And of course, 9mm's been giving about $20,000 a month in approximately, depending on the month and volumes, but they've got, if you're holding 9mm, you get a share of the profits. You have to claim it or you lose it. Also, they have NFTs, which get the secondary or residual income from activities. So that's ticking away there as well, up 10%. What else have we got there? Pump Tires at number 34, up 10%. And then Pulse Puppy at number 35, up 10%. So we've got 35 coins, a third of the list, 10% or up today, while the rest of the market, Bitcoin, Ethereum, pretty flat, right, in range. So pretty good day for the old Pulsechain there. Pretty counter move as well. All right, so we've got lots of coins up 9%. Hex, of course, up 9%. Going to keep a lookout for that. Let's scroll down a little bit further down here. Let's pick out a few, shall we? We got Gophers up at $31 right now, up 8%. Gophers was the first 404 contract on Pulsechain. Excuse me. So yeah, that's ticking away there from Gold Key and Dipcatcher. What else do we got? Mafia Coin from Rack and Rochelle is not doing too bad, up 8%. Mafia Coin is back almost at 50 cents. Let's have a quick look at this. There's been a change of leadership. I've talked about it a few times, but it's sort of ticking back up here. How many days is that? Because I think how many days was there's a white list of about 650 people, something like that. That is 53 days. Now, when was the first day that they were starting to be released? Was it day 90? I can't remember. I'll have to go back and revise that, but day 53, so it must be getting there. You're ticking away there, so we'll see what that looks like, and if that's still, still the case. So we'll find out. What else? Let's scroll down here. We are waiting for Coinwell and Coinaki, presumably. So we'll keep a look. I'm a little bit out of date on that since I, moved and been on holiday and things. Unity right now is at 58. Swarm is at 57. They're up 7%. PCock, which we're going to talk about soon. Zero Trust tied into PCock as well. Up at number 60 here. GoPulse, 3.7 cents, 3.8 cents, up 6%. We're going to get to PCock in a minute. What else have we got going on here? We've got Teddy Bear from James Maria up 5%, sitting in the 70s. Liquid Loans down at 73, up 5%. So we've got a pretty nice green day across the board. Scrolling down here a bit more. Sun Minimal down at 5.4 cents, still sitting on Pulsechain. And it was expected to go to Solana. We've got Vouch up 1.5%. Now, obviously, Vouch and Validator X are going to need a Pulse to really get moving. Like, it's great to see the counter move up 7%, but really needs to start moving up so that Validator profitability goes up, all the rest of it. But it's definitely one of our blue chips, and we'll keep a lookout for that in the future. And of course, buying the bottom when it is a pretty good, you guys got to bide your time. So that's kind of it. We've got a few OG web shifts down here as well. Dominance. We've got Ink Dollar from Fast Abdul with the old INC collateral, liquidity fork, took it away there, $1. It's managed to make it on the trending, which is pretty funny. We got all that going on. Top Hat from Crypto Coffee up 1.7%. I think this is lagging a bit, but I think that if Coffee wanted to, get this moving, he could do that at any particular time. So we'll keep a lookout for that too. What else? So that's kind of it. Let's jump into PCock though, because Liberty Swap has got a lot happening, and we've got a cool video we're going to watch. So I hope you guys enjoy it. It's about 6 minutes long. It's from Crypto Sparbook. Crypto Sparbook, of course, one of the two European guys that went through Europe and America doing the Hex roadshows and promoting Hex, and man, did they do an amazing job. And you could definitely see them getting better and better and better at it every time they would go to another place to do it. Now, we only saw it from secondary on videos online, but if you'd actually been at some of the presentations, I'm sure it would have been pretty good, and they got better and better and better at it. And it's a complex topic, so, trying to introduce people to crypto, first of all, DeFi, and especially, and then, talk about Hex and, a modified certificate of deposit, right? But Crypto Sparbook seems to be one of the guys in the team on Liberty Swap, which is kind of, as far as I know, the only sort of inside clues we have to who Liberty Swap is, right? So we're going to watch that video there. Pretty interesting. So Liberty Swap, PCock right now sitting at 1.82 cents, and in my mind, has probably got the best chance of a PCock being the meme coin that gets to the $1 billion mark potentially. I mean, there's a lot of things have to happen under the bridge there for that to happen. But certainly it's started off well, heading in the right direction, and I don't see any other meme coin, even though we've got a couple of good ones on Pulsechain doing this, right? Because they have the underlying business of Liberty Swap, buying and burning the token, buying and storing the token, building up liquidity, and every time they ramp up their product offering, they're adding more potentiality for fees. Now, obviously, sometimes they're paying for gas fees for certain periods of time and things like that, but that is generally getting bigger and bigger by my counts. And they're also, bringing in capital and buying over and the top beyond the fees that they earn. So, and building that position, getting that supply off. So, definitely is pretty cool. Now, market cap at the moment is still pretty small, 15.4 million. So, it's a long way to go to get into that $1 billion mark. And but as you guys know, a couple of good incremental re-rates and consolidations, we could see this definitely climbing up there. Now, at the moment, the biggest thing, apart from they got Liberty X coming, the big aggregating trading platform or module, but they've also got they're also verifying all their contracts on CoinMarketCap, so that would move them from 24-hour volume, which currently ranks them at about 4,200 or 4,100 in the ranking there, to market cap. And once they're getting there pretty close, they've put in the submission there, they've done all the work, and if CoinMarketCap then suddenly re-rates them on market cap, that would jump them 3,300 spots all the way into the top, probably 800, 900 spots on CoinMarketCap, and that is a big move, getting into the top 1,000. And that itself would probably do another re-rate and jump them again in market cap. So it could be some really exciting stuff, in addition to all the frontier DeFi that LibertySwap and PCock are delivering. So some interesting stuff happening there, and as you can see in the chart there, sitting pretty comfortably over the 21 moving average here on the daily. So and plenty of room to move on the RSI as well. If we look at the weekly, you can see that's also the case, right? So it's sitting well above the 9 moving average, the 21 moving averages, and of course the RSI 58. So looking pretty good. There's a lot of pent up positions here, potentially with some sort of wedge breakout too. So it could be pretty exciting. So let's jump over to LibertySwap and check that out a bit more detail. So obviously we've covered a few good things so far. We've seen that Richard Art Causa kind of sort of moving versus the Bitcoin versus the majors, as it were. So it's a kind of a positive sign that we don't normally see. And secondly, got some quality projects like PTC out there doing some innovation around referrals and getting some robustness in their charts. So it's kind of cool to see. And now we've got PCock as well, even though it's down in the chart level, is actually holding up pretty well and looks like it's getting ready for another move. And we got Liberty X about to drop, which is a pretty frontier DeFi solution. So we're excited about that. So let's go through some of the latest news on here. LibertySwap, good morning, Pulsechain friends. Let's start the weekend with some extra buybacks on top of the protocol fees. The flock stays strong, so they're typically doing that quite a lot, adding a bit of extra buying power. And of course, they're accumulating all this PCock. They're already number one holder, and they're doing all sorts of things, building LP so that bigger players can come in and out of the token. They've also, I think looking to do like buys and burns and things like that. So it's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, and we talked about Hex, didn't we, Sean? Hex is the hidden gold up only, says Sean. And we got Lou in our house as well. Hello. Good to see you, Lou. Welcome. Diamond Hand says PDC to the moon, 100% there. And Giza, of course, Hex for the win. Nice. All right, so those are some of the cool things. Let's get into it. So good morning from LibertySwap. Now, 7 hours ago, they said there's roughly 27 billion pulse currently in the PCock LP. And you know that LibertySwap's been doing their best to increase the amount of pulse in there. I think their target was 100 billion. Do you remember that? 100 billion. So with even more pulse waiting to be paired to PCock for additional liquidity, reaching 100 billion pulse in liquidity pools is a reasonable and achievable goal. Now, if you guys remember, I always bring back to the sacrifice set. We had 1,000 people approximately that sacrificed. I don't know, it was probably worth about $80,000, $85,000. They got 1 billion pulse. So that gives you some reference from the old days. So, getting to 100 billion pulse, that it's like 10% of that amount. So it's a pretty interesting number. PCock wrapped ETH pool will also deepen over time. Now, obviously, they've set up, I think recently, was it a week ago or so, they set up a PCock wrapped ETH pool, I think it was. This gives us time to continue building liquidity and developing products while the broader market cycles back. And also, they get to do this arbitrage thing between chains as well, right? So, pretty exciting stuff. You can see Emmett Farm there, leading farm on Pulsechain, commenting on as well. Rhinify commenting on that too, with their innovative treasuries. So, pretty with their recharge, 28-day recharge. So we will run wild, play the long-term game. So, we got up only from Sean there. So some nice stuff happening from LibertySwap there. So let's keep going. So they're doing some buybacks. Liquidity is building up. There's some of the posts. Now we've got this video here from Crypto Sparbook, and I thought we would watch this. I think the audio is running fine, but let me just, no, I'm scaling the wrong one here. Let me just get over to here. I'm not sure why it's not focusing on here properly, but we're going to focus on that, and maybe we can get one more up here. And how's that look? Looks pretty good. All right. So let's play this video, and this is on LibertySwap, and it's by Crypto Sparbook, who I believe is in the team, right? Who's in the team there?
Every major meme coin looks stupid at the beginning. Pepe did, Doge did, and almost everyone ignored them. Until it was already too late. At the beginning, nobody takes meme coins seriously. They look random. They look pointless. They look like a joke. And that's exactly why people miss them. Now some people are starting to say the same thing about PCock on Pulsechain. This is not about hype for today or tomorrow. This is about understanding why the upside could be massive. Let's put things into perspective. Pepe has more than 500,000 holders, according to Etherscan. At its peak, Pepe reached around an $11.6 billion market cap. That didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen because of fundamentals. It happened because attention shifted. Now look at PCock. PCock currently has around 6,000 holders, with roughly a $20 million market cap. That gap alone should make you pause. Meme coins don't move because something changes in the code. They move because people notice them. Now imagine what happens if PCock goes from 6,000 holders to 60,000, or even 600,000. You don't need PCock to fully replace Pepe. You only need a fraction of that attention. That's how coins move up 100x or 1000x. Not because they're guaranteed, but because the asymmetry is extreme. This is where most people get it wrong. They look at a small market cap and say it already feels expensive. They wait. Then the price doubles. They wait again. Then it does another 2x, and suddenly it feels confirmed. And that's exactly when the risk is highest. Early meme coins feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is the price of admission. Now let's talk about why PCock holders are likely to increase over time. PCock has strong support from LibertySwap. LibertySwap is a decentralized developer team actively building infrastructure for Pulsechain. They already built a cross-chain bridge. They are not just talking, they are shipping products. And they plan to deliver many more things this year. What really matters here is incentives. LibertySwap uses part of the fees earned from their services to buy and burn PCock, and to add Pulse liquidity to PCock. That means PCock has structural support built in. Not from marketing, not from influencers, but from actual usage. This brings us to something most meme coins completely lack: liquidity. PCock has a large Pulse liquidity pool. That's not a small detail, that's everything. Most meme coins fail because liquidity is thin. Whales can't enter properly. Big buys cause massive slippage. Big sells crash the price. That scares serious money away. PCock is different. It has enough liquidity for larger players to enter. That alone puts it ahead of the majority of low-cap meme coins. Now let's connect this to Pulsechain itself. PCock's liquidity is directly tied to Pulse. Pulse is currently near all-time lows. Sentiment is still negative. Attention is still low. And yet, PCock is already moving. Now imagine what happens if Pulsechain itself goes 5 times or 10 times from here. PCock doesn't even need new buyers. Bonded liquidity alone can reprice the token. When the base asset moves, everything tied to it moves harder. Another factor people underestimate is visibility. PCock is getting new listings regularly. It's already available on CoinMarketCap and TradingView. These things don't create instant pumps, but they remove friction. They make PCock easier to find, easier to track, easier to trust. That's how memes grow quietly before they become obvious. Now let's talk about LibertyX. LibertySwap is building LibertyX as a next-generation trading platform. LibertyX will include an off-chain order book, MEV protection, gasless trading on Pulsechain, and aggregation across Pulsechain, Ethereum, BNB Chain, and Solana. And LibertySwap has stated that PCock will be the official token of LibertyX. That's not something you see every day. Most meme coins have no connection to real products. PCock does. That opens up a completely new narrative, possibly even new revenue streams. On top of that, there is an additional bonus. PCock holders are expected to receive an airdrop of ZKX. The token is not live yet. ZKX will be the token of a planned decentralized wallet built by the LibertySwap team. That means PCock holders don't just get meme upside, they get optional upside on top. Now, let's be clear, this is not financial advice. And no, I'm not saying PCock will definitely become the next Pepe. Maybe nothing happens. Maybe it stays quiet longer than people expect. But structurally, this is exactly how early meme coins look before they go parabolic. Low holders, low attention, strong narratives forming quietly. PCock is sitting around a $20 million market cap. Pepe went to billions. If PCock captures even a small piece of that attention, you understand why people are talking about 100 times potential. If you found this breakdown helpful and you want more Pulsechain deep dives, subscribe to Pulse Vision to support my work. I appreciate it.
All right, so that was a great video there and highlights a lot of the fundamentals. So very, very excited there from Crypto Sparbook, so kind of cool. We also had, obviously, LibertySwap here talking about bases building bots. Pulsechain is building a real community of humans. So kind of cool. Let me just minimize this again. We're going maximize. Let's minimize. Yeah, so we had some pretty cool stuff here from LibertySwap. Now we understand that LibertyX is going to go live this weekend. So it's getting very close, guys. Very close. So LibertyX going live this weekend. And that is a major product release from LibertySwap. So pretty cool. Now, the other thing in that video that you saw was that if you're a PCock holder, you'll get a share of the ZKX, I think was a token for their wallet that's coming up. So they're building a hybrid privacy / normal wallet for all the privacy products that they offer to make it really easy, and we're excited about that. We also need more wallets on Pulsechain, particularly quite easy ones. The other big thing is that I think Ramp now is also building a normal wallet as well for Pulsechain. So we'll have a few more wallets, and we definitely need a couple more wallet options on Pulsechain that are fully show up, you know, Pulsechain US dollar values, etc., and all the other features that people love. So yeah, it's pretty exciting, and so yeah, a double whammy for the old PCock there. So looking pretty good. Thought we'd zoom in on that. So we've let's recap. We're zoomed in on, you know, Pulsechain making a bit of a nice move today. We've definitely looked at Hex being pretty attractive from an LP position, also a pretty established community, one of the largest ones, and so we could see some pretty good action there. We saw INC moving a bit today. And then we've got, you know, PCC moving quite nicely with the referral system that seems to be working for them. And then we got PCock with LibertySwap with the big LibertyX product about to be launched, and everything else ramping up for that project around CoinMarketCap listing, and you know, future product rollouts like the wallet, etc. So it's pretty exciting stuff happening there on the old Pulsechain. We want to get quality projects and capital flowing through the quality projects, right? PCock could be that one meme that gets into the top memes. There's only about 6 memes in the world that are over 1 billion. So LibertySwap, PCock has got you know, probably the best chance, I think, on Pulsechain to do that with that video outlining a lot of the fundamentals. Sean says that was gold up only, says Sean. Nice. All right, so that is some of the cool stuff. Now, in addition to that, we had the other day, which we did cover, Richard Hart, of course, with the testnet for ProveX, and this is another big deal. You know, chain neutral there, yeah, or chain agnostic, as one might say. The testnet ProveX stats page has appeared, and of course, people have, you know, checked their sacrifice. I think there's about 7,000 people, isn't there? And so that's all up and running, and people can check it out. We know the token's going to be PRVX. That's the balances on testnet, and so people are excited about that. Looks like token balances around about 142 billion tokens, something like that. So yeah, exciting times. So people are getting excited exactly how that's going to work. Will it also help lift Pulsechain? We've seen this bit of a reversal today. Are we going to see some capital flows sort of help push Pulsechain up as well? Maybe some magic carpet ride stuff. A little bit of that only takes a little bit to get things moving off the slow base. We'll see. You know, some key players try to front run all this. Will it help lift all of Pulsechain? You know, tied into Pulse, for example, having to buy Pulse to get some of the ProofX. Will we see a lot of this technology get picked up by key players? We know some teams have already signaled that the ProofX will get picked up in terms of technology, let alone the token use. And this is going to be a bit like Pulsex, where the supply just gets burned off continually forever. And of course, the more places it is, the more places it's used, the faster it will be burned off, right? So yeah, it's all coming through. So it's going to be pretty interesting there. So some major moves for Richard Hart to make in 2026, and here we are on the 7th, 8th of March. So interesting times ahead. All right, so that was that. If you guys haven't joined up the Strategy Club, links in the video description or pinned to top of X. Just over $1 a day to join up for all the latest intel. Definitely worth joining up there, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the Discord private club. You have to go through the Whoop store to sign up, but it's pretty easy to do. Secondly, if you want to just get general membership in Discord, that's $12.50 a month. You can try and sign up to that as well. Other than that, you can jump into Telegram, which is free. So all the links in the video description there. What else can we say? You got to be pretty optimistic where we're heading, because it's a pretty low base to move from, and you've just got to be able to handle the volatility, I guess. But pretty good sign today. I was pretty impressed with the fact that Pulsechain was up versus the majors of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Kind of a cool sign. And we've got a few things, as I've pointed out today, that are pretty positive around PTGC, Hex, and PCock, as well as ProofX coming along the line. So fun times. Now we do have Fast Abdul's got Vault 369. That's coming out soon. I'm pretty excited about that. We do have some other devs out there doing some cool stuff, like Jacob and Stu and others. So we'll try to keep a track of their projects as well. And get some real value on Pulsechain. Yeah, and I still need to do the video on blue chips, what I think might be blue chips on Pulsechain. Some of those blue chips will move at different times depending on whether we get that pulse momentum continuing. But definitely we should probably do a video on that. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're going to finish up there, about 54 minutes in the hour, and we've got a great audience watching right now, so do appreciate everybody's attention. I guess I should say a few words just quickly on the Iran conflict, which is obviously pulling markets down, oil up, etc. And that seems to be going pretty much on track. So they seem to have pretty much decimated the Air Force, the Navy. They'll be hunting little things, but generally that seems to be done. They seem to have doing pretty good on the rockets and the drones. They've got those down about 80-90%, and they've still probably over the next week they got the 30 aircraft carriers come in. They got a lot more assets, so they're just going to keep pummeling all the hardware basically. I suggest there's not going to be too much firing after the next sort of few days. You'll probably still see little barrages, which we saw overnight from Iran. But I think that's all going to settle down. Now, the question it leaves is the army, right? So the army of Iran, obviously there's about 90 million people in Iran. It's a huge country. It's just the army side of things that have decided to still hold up the mullah regime. But apparently a lot of them are sleeping outside all the military bases because they don't want to get blown up, right? So that will be, the final bit is, going off, picking up of all those. So I don't see any land invasion. I see, more of a funding, the people themselves to rise up, and maybe the Kurds might play some role in that in the north, from Iraq at least. So that's all seems to be playing out pretty well, which means maybe in a week or two, we're also with the Strait of Hormuz and with the insurance and military guarantees from CENTCOM, maybe within a week we might see all that settled down. So certainly, I think suspect next week will be some volatility, and we'll keep a lookout for the futures market tomorrow. With futures market will give us an indication of whether they think the stock market is absorbing a lot of this news, and oil prices, whether it hits I think $95 or something. We'll see. So that's all coming up. So probably still another week of volatility ahead of us. But other than that, all the fundamentals are going pretty well for a short war, as we say. All right. Until then, I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Enjoy and pick up the dips. Look pretty friendly there. All right. Take care and bye for now.